So this is the bubble chart for the 2014 Ebola crisis that I've put together over the past 3 weeks. I've pulled together many source files to support this, but primarily the data sources are the national situation reports from the government of Liberia and the international WHO reports for each of the individual countries, so natural WHO. The bubble chart, if you're not familiar, was popularized by Hans Rosling in a TED Talk, and it shows each day or each year in a bubble form so that you can compare countries' individual situations to themselves rather than globally. And then you can look at how different countries compare over time and how their individual evolution compares. So bringing it to bear on the Ebola crisis seems appropriate despite the terrible. So here we have the days going forward, and you can see that if you show all the data, you can see Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Liberia in context. So I'm just going to select those. These are the WHO data points, and I'm going to replay the national data from the beginning, and just to review the dates that are relevant here are day 1000 is April 25th, day 1100 is July 3rd, day 1111 is July 14th, and the most recent day we have data for is August 27th in the Liberia case and August 26th in the WHO case, WHO. And so the WHO ends a bit before the last frame, but we will just watch again, and now that we have all of these selected. So in the beginning, the crisis of course starts in Guinea, and then Liberia comes. By the 6th day, the Guinea records are reported by the WHO. So the Liberia situation reports start to come a bit later than that, day 1054 in the day 254 in the international crisis. So because the Gapminder uses years, we have to indicate the day of the crisis by 1000. So 1054 is the 54th day. 1001 is the first day. And Sierra Leone comes in on the 63rd day. Nigeria on the 124th day. And so this is useful. You can see up to about the 146th day. The WHO data and the national data had the same slope. But in the past few days, the slope has diverged a little bit. And really, there's only 2 data points for each of these days, for each of these weeks. So there's about 7 circles here. That means there's 7 days. And there's 7 circles here, and that's 7 days. So it's hard to say if it's likely that the WHO data hasn't diverged too much. The WHO data hasn't diverged too much, but but they're not quite as tracking as they have been for a while. So the Nigeria crisis is still quite small. One thing that can be convenient as you're exploring is turning off trails, coming to a day that you know is important for the crisis, that can distinguish the various outbreaks, and then turning on trails, and then you can see that play out in their own spaces, and it's a little bit easier to follow the labels. Okay, so because the bulk of the data that I've converted from the Ministry of Health in Liberia is Liberia specific and a lot smaller than the total outbreak, we need to zoom in to be able to see that. So I'm going to uncheck all of the countries and switch over to the Liberia mode of my data. So So Montserrado, Margibi, and Bong, or Montserrado, Margibi, and Lofa have been the three largest counties so far in Liberia, and this is what that looks like as of yesterday, the 27th of August. These are the relative deaths versus cases for each of these counties. I'm going to zoom this in so that we can see how they got there with trails. Okay, so I'm going to turn trails on. I know that, so day 1111 is pretty important, so I'm going to turn on to go back to that day. I'm going to select a few more counties. And I'm going to change the color to unique colors. All right. So when we press play, we'll see each of the days pass from the 111th day, which is July 14th. Okay. So here you can see Lofa County has grown very quickly, along with Montserrado County, which is the county that Monrovia is in, the capital of Liberia. And Margibi County has grown quickly as well. This is Margibi County here. That's hard to distinguish the colors. This is Bong County, and this is Bomi County on the coast, near the coast. As you hover over the different bubbles, you can see which are which. So I'm going to zoom in further so that we can see the development of the smaller counties. And here you have Margibi County as it started. You can see Montserrado County on the first day was already pretty serious. On July 14th was pretty serious. So again, the 11111 is July 14th. Lofa County is already off the chart by the if you look at this area, Hennepin County is, so that's how you use the tool. I'll continue to update the data as I go, and I encourage you to try to use this tool to communicate with friends in Liberia, and to help to try to understand the relative prevalences in the different counties and the way that the crisis is developing. Thank you.